Everyone, and welcome to Digital Presence Update with TAP Solutions. I, of course, am Joe Wallace with TAP Solutions, and today we're going to talk a little bit about some of the things that might really interest you guys, mainly and foremost, of course, having to do in the changing landscape of your search, your business, all these wonderful things. Guys, again, this is a monthly or bi-monthly digital presence update, letting you guys know what's going on. We're changing the format a little bit from what it used to be. So basically, I want to briefly tell you what exactly is digital presence, so you guys that are new actually understand what it is and how things are going. So digital presence has to do with a factor of many different things, but all of which have to do online. Very much so having to do with your website and website SEO as well, local listings for your business, your reviews, your social media, and other things such as that. These are vital for small and medium businesses, not suggestions, not nice to haves. These are really important things that need to be addressed immediately for your business to be successful if they are not being done. Now, that being said, what is TAF Solutions for those that are new? We bring enterprise level digital presence expertise to small and mid-sized businesses. And of course, we can help large businesses as well if they so desire, and consult with them and cut through the noise and focus on practical steps that drive trust and credibility to your business. And we do so by consulting with your business, you yourself, and as the owner of the business, as well as any other factor of the business you'd like us to do. And if you do not have tools already helping you in the capacities you need to be successful, we then bring the tools as well to bear for you guys. So that way it's easier than ever before to be able to use those tools. So if you don't got it, we'll bring it to you, right? That kind of thing. So that being said, let's jump straight into the episode itself, right? Now, main things first. Again, this is a digital presence update. So we're going to try and bring current digital presence updates for Google. Now, Google is prioritizing real experience content more than anything else before. We call it the EEAT evolution. What that means is experience, expertise, authority, trust. EEAT. So EEAT, right? We'll call it that. What's happening with Google, right? Is that they are cracking down on AI-generated fluff content. Also, thin SEO pages. Maybe you haven't been working well with SEO pages and stuff like that. Really important that you get in and work with your SEO pages as well. And then, of course, generic top 10 style content, right? Now, I know a lot of people in the past have done these as tactics to try and help grow their brand and their business, but that's not something that you're going to be able to do in the future from now on. Generating a top 10 style content or even a video is no longer going to be a viable thing for your small to medium business to generate positive points with Google. Google is getting better at figuring out if content actually comes from real experience. So it's just written to rank, right? That's all you're doing is you're like trying to write things down to rank things. It's not going to work anymore. All right, it's just that simple. And that's why blogs alone won't carry your SEO in terms of Google, right? You're going to need actual photos, real examples, and real insights. Okay, case studies are greater than generic content. That's really what you can do to also really solidify things. Because if you remember what a case study is something that you can do that enables you to be able to really personalize and be detail oriented on something that you did for a client. It defeats the fluff content narrative because it's specific, right? And that's what you want. You want specificity. So do that. That's going to help with Google. That's going to come back. What's happening with that? So what else is what we're looking at here? Well, content saturation is peaking right now. That's probably why they're cracking down on Google. So I know we just talked about Google, but I want to move on from that real quick in a general sense. AI generated answers are everywhere. AI overviews are everywhere. Users are getting answers without clicking websites. Zero-click search, like we've talked about in the past. So guys, searching is turning into answers, all right, not just links. That means you don't always get the click anymore. So if you're running a business and your metric is website clicks, that's not a solid metric anymore for your search metrics. Getting an idea of who's visiting your site. Because they may not be going to your site. Now, that doesn't make it useless, right? It makes it useful still, but it's a different metric now. It has a different weight. The people who are going to your website are better leads in general now because they're not window shopping anymore. Now they're coming in to see if you are actually worth pursuing. So I need you to keep that in mind. Your website links and clicks are very important. You still need to look at those things. But your website, more than ever now, clearly has to have the right information inside there to turn clients into actual clients, I should say. Opportunities are one thing, leads are another, and of course, wonderful clientele conversions are going to happen more and more on your website. So you need to have not just some landing page, though it's still better than nothing, right? It's a bare minimum, right? It needs to have a whole bunch of information. Lots of pages about your services that go into depth. I want you to imagine now your website, not just a place to hold a position online. That's what people are doing. They have a peg and they're putting a peg in an area on a map and saying, that's my space. Problem is that your space now, I mean, just because, you had that space, I should continue that thought, right? Is just because you had that space doesn't mean that all of a sudden people are just going to trust you. They're going to go, yeah, he's there, he exists, therefore he must know what they're talking about, or she. Point is you are now having to really win people over in your space now because they don't trust you immediately. You got to build trust. So what you're fighting for now is visibility online, credibility, and inclusion in summaries. Going back to the search engine, away from the website. Summaries now. You got to be in them. Not just rankings anymore. Though they're still a part of this. See, everything kind of just builds around all the same stuff. You have to be part of this online trend. Otherwise, you're never going to catch them. So being seen is not as good now as getting traffic anymore. It does not equal, I'm sorry. Being seen does not equal getting traffic anymore. Now you need to actually have reasons to click on your website. So the third thing I want to bring to everybody's attention, I got about 6 of these guys, so bear with me. We're getting through them, but it's important. Get digital presence updates, right? Local search is leaning heavily on activity signals like we mentioned, right? So remember, it's really important that you remember that. So Google business profiles are factoring in review frequency now, response rates, posting activity, and Q&A engagements. So your business profile isn't just a listing anymore. I want you guys to get that out of your head. Because now, according to the new updates, according to brand new guidelines and or how the algorithm is working, straight from Google itself, recently, this is news, guys. All this stuff I'm talking about is news, new things happening right now, okay? Your review frequency is important now. It wasn't before. Before, it was you got a review, you responded to it, you're good, right? But remember, now, According to the new algorithm updates, the review frequency is now important. The response rate is also important. Not just is your review frequency important now how fast you respond and how often is also important. It's getting faster, guys. It's getting faster. And I'll say why that's important to know right now in just a second. Then, of course, your posting activity. You do need to be posting on your Google Business Profile. For everybody out there right now who is like, I don't know what that means. Posting on my Google Business Profile? What does that mean? It means that you haven't been posting on your Google Business Profile, first of all. Second of all, it means you need to start doing that immediately. And the reason why is because, one, you can, for those that are still drawing a blank, you can and you should. And it needs to be photos, updates in business, whatever. But you just make it easy for yourself. You can just post what you've been posting on your social media. And if you haven't been doing that either, then that's a different problem, right? We'll get there. But you absolutely need to make sure that you are posting on your business profile, because now it's required. Okay, do you see? Another one is Q&A engagement. Now, this one's fairly new, but question and answer is an option on your, like a simple FAQ, right, is available on your business profile. But more than that, there's a Q&A option. So ability for people to ask questions of your business on your Google Business Profile. If you're not aware of that either, I mean, most people weren't, to be honest with you. So you're doing okay. But now that you are, you do need to engage on that. People will actually ask questions. And so you'll receive a notification if someone does, but you need to respond as soon as possible. Okay. Google is now tallying that in their trust score of your business. You don't do it. Okay. They're going to go against you. So that's it, guys. It's a living signal now. It's not set it and forget it, right? That is dead. It's gone. Setting and forgetting your business profile is not a thing. Active businesses are going to outrank inactive ones. And guys, this is a godsend. I'm going to be honest with you. This is amazing news, because if you're working with us, right, or you have a digital presence that you're actively been working on for the past, especially over the past few years, right, just the past 3-4 years, and even if it's just been over the past year, you are so far ahead of the curve now, because all of this is going to directly benefit you in a massive way. So I would absolutely 110% continue down this line, because this is a godsend. It truly is. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to mention, of course, is reviews are being scrutinized more than ever. This is, again, another take from Google and all the various engines out there in terms of discovery for your business, traditional methods. Here's what's happening. There's an increased detection of fake reviews, AI-generated reviews, and platforms tightening these trust signals to make sure that these things are not on their platforms. So the more fake credibility existing right now that's identified, the more valuable real credibility is going to become. Now they're not gonna completely dissolve, right, these wonderful fake reviews, right? AI generated reviews. They're not going to dissolve them and remove them necessarily. What they will do is they're going to soft lock, ban, and limit, shadow ban, if you will, your account on Google. You guys didn't think that didn't exist. Here to tell you that that's existed for a very long time. Not on Google as much, but definitely on other platforms like Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and blah, 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 blah. All of those things exist, and now it's being brought to the search engines and other places. ChatGPT. Authenticity matters, guys. So here's what's important. Quantity alone is not enough. Right? We just mentioned earlier that it's going to be about activity as well, right? The amount you're getting on a consistent basis, which also means that now what's more important than quantity is authenticity. Detailed reviews, varied language, and real responses. So what I mean by that is detailed reviews. Your reviewers are going to do better for you if they provide detailed reviews. I know it's a crazy thing to ask for your wonderful clients, but it's something that you should probably try and insert them. So ask for a paragraph. Just ask for a paragraph, because most people leave no details in their reviews on Google and other places because they just want to give you the 5 stars. That's not going to cut it anymore. Okay. Ask for at least 2 sentences to a paragraph. Done. Right? Just ask for it. Ask is all you can do. All right. Tell them it's going to really help you out. And look, if they want to give you a 5-star review, they'll go a little above and beyond. Make it easy for them to get the review to you. First and foremost, get them started on the writing, so where they can choose the star and then write something nice. And they'll probably do it every time, right? If not, at least they'll give you the review itself. And that will help. But it would be better if it was detailed, right? And then, of course, the varied language. Obviously, fake reviews, AI-generated reviews, all kind of sound the same. Naturally, people write differently, right? No matter who you are on an individual basis, people write differently, each to one another. So, as long as it's a real review, you're gonna check that box, no problem. The last one is real responses. You need to respond. Now, you can still respond with AI, but you do need to make sure that your AI sounds as close to you as possible. So we have a tool that allows you to be able to respond with AI. We use it all the time. And we have it trained based on your actual voice. So we can upload a document or some website that you own that sounds like you, because maybe you wrote all that stuff, right? And then it'll sound like you instead of just ChatGPT reskinned, So, all right. Now, next up, content saturation is peaking as well. So not only is review and AI and all this stuff, content saturation is peaking more than ever before. And it's obviously because, guys, there's more content than ever and less trust in it. Especially when it all sounds the same. Guys, there's a massive increase in AI written blogs, AI social posts, and templated marketing, right? Everybody thinks they have this side gig and they can just automate it to win millions and millions of dollars as if that's coming out of thin air, not your clients, right? The answer is that's not how it's going to work. So what it does do, though, is that if you know how to personalize content without making it sound generic, without giving it that nice little AI shine to it, right? If you can personalize the content, your social posts, make it more and more about you. Just take the time and the workflow to do so. You're going to win in the space very, very easily. Again, because standing out equals being real now, not about being louder. The louder part's easy. You can just throw AI at it and it's gonna everywhere, just throw up everywhere, all over the place, in all these different places about with your message. Now the message is going to be terrible. This is where the quality is going to start coming in. Over polished content can hurt trust too, as well. The quality itself is where, ironically, we're at. If it's over polished, it's considered AI now. And this is something that I'm actually a little flabbergasted at, only because me, being in production and media for so long, I make polished content. I've actually had people say that my 3D, some of the 3D things that I've done for video was AI, and I'm like, no, man, I do all this from scratch, bro. Or I at least do, yeah, sure, I'll use models sometimes that I have access to. Maybe I've made both in the past, or I've made purchases in the past. But I've got a catalog and I'm going to use it. But that being said, I build it, I do the camera moves, I render it out. My computer's a beast. Point is some of that stuff is now being identified and now fairly so with AI. And that's where we're at. Right now, people value real more than anything else. And of course, the trouble is in the future, we may be seeing. So, let's make sure that you're actually making content. That means, though, guys, that if you don't have to worry about making content anymore look as beautiful as look. You can grab your phone now and you can just record yourself saying some things. Have all the stuff in it that's wrong, right? Like bad audio, maybe not terrible audio, but you still need to be understood, right? But not great audio, not great camera moves, stuff like that. All of those things make things look realistic now because AI is not going to do that. So guess what? It's easier than ever to get started on your social media journey. And you can just keep doing that because now realism, realism has flaws. That's what makes things real. Okay. So last in this wonderful segment that I have with you guys is impressions and first impressions. So here's what's happening. Google is rewarding updated content, recent activity, and consistent signals. All content doesn't just sit there anymore. It slowly loses value. Value. It almost behooves you to update what you've done in the past than replacing it. Okay? So replace your blog articles. No. Update your blog articles. This is great news for people who have a lot of blog articles. You can just reuse your old blog articles and go on an update campaign, right? Update campaign. Do it. See what happens. Stay active across your website, your listings, and your social. That's the main thing. That freshness is now rewarding. Google's rewarding this. All the LLMs are rewarding this. Get points that way. Now, impressions, like I mentioned, are happening faster than ever as well. What's happening is AI summaries, local packs equal faster decisions. You're getting fewer chances to make a first impression, guys. And that impression is happening faster too. So users are spending less time evaluating because they have these tools to make it easier for them to find out all this information. Zero-click searches are part of that. Going to your website, you're lucky if someone goes there now. And when they do, you need to make darn sure that you have all the info you can have to actually turn their head in your direction fully, right? Here's what you need to do with your presence, guys. Your presence has to answer these two things instantly. Legit. Do people trust you? That's it. Do all those things, you win. But you have to do a bit to make that happen. Yeah, sure, blog articles are part of that. But listen, social posts are just as important. So that is the stack of things that need to be done, guys. These are the updates to the search engines. It's a lot. It's a lot. I just listed a whole ton of things. It took me almost 20 minutes to get through all of that. That's just within the past month, man. So guys, if you are not in on this and don't understand what's going on, subscribe to this wonderful podcast. I'm going to help you guys out. And even better, make sure that you go over to Tab Solutions, get an informant, come talk to us. We're going to be able to help you understand what it is you don't understand, right? And more importantly, maybe help you in the right direction if you do understand, but you're just finding it hard to keep up. Okay. Again, that's wearetaff.com. We're here. We're here to help. Okay. So here's where things get interesting. Because while all that is happening inside your business, outside your business, the outside world, the way people find value is changing too. Okay. So look, digital presence, like I've said before, for the longest is, it's about visibility. Now, it used to be about visibility. And now it's about evaluation and validation. People are finding you and now they got to value you and make sure it's good to go. So just keep that in mind, guys. Now, another thing that we've been talked about in the past, it's harder than ever to find good help, right? So one of the things that helps in your small business and maybe helps you even in this area is that, it's difficult finding marketing partners or in-house staff. A lot of small businesses struggle with this, especially with unqualified agencies. They pop up everywhere. Obviously, we like to think of ourselves as a qualified agency, especially since we do so much on the education front. I mean, how many are doing what I'm doing right now? Handing out free information, trying to get you guys on the right track, and I'm not making any money off of this, right? right? Not saying that I don't want to, of course, but the point is that I find the act of helping people and helping you guys see the challenges are the best method that I have of getting people on the right track. And hopefully they'll see value in that. Come talk to me and get us to help them out. Right. So I want to emphasize with you guys to partner with a trusted agency like us, right? If not us, then somebody who can help you to gain, some kind of fractional expertise that we have. We have a bunch of white label tools for reputation listing management. We help and we use because we know people need these tools. So rather than just like point them and go buy that, right? I want them to be able to have an actual source that we recommend because people value that. Again, the credibility is something it's huge right now. Social marketplace, in terms of people getting to trust you when it comes to business partners. So, especially your clients. So it's important. And we prioritize tasks that yield the highest ROI. Right? That's what we try to do. There's so many ways to do digital presence, guys. So many, but there are some key ones that we know work best and the fastest. All right. And it is better to work on those things than to invest heavily into ads. Though we're not against ads. We just know that it's not going to help you out in the long run, especially now where everything's validation. Ads, they only introduce you to people. That's all ads do. They don't get to the trust. And then, of course, I definitely want to point out that we do have short courses as well in our brand new platform that we're using to help educate people on what these digital presence things are and how best to utilize them. And we also have some training on our own tools that we use. If you want to be part of that, feel free to go to our wearetap.com and you can become part of it, guys. We also have a free community that we're setting up right now. A free community that will have some of these same trainings. They won't have all of the courses available to you from the get-go. Some of them will be behind a paywall because we're putting a lot of time and effort into these courses and we're trying to make them as accessible as possible, which means really working on how they sound in what they say, right? It's difficult to make these courses and make them make sense for people who are not in the same realm as, me, right? Or my team. So definitely work on training yourself, guys, in this stuff because digital presence fundamentals, you'll not only be able to do the things yourself now if you do train yourself on this stuff, but you'll be able to vet service providers as well a lot more easily. To do that, make it so that you don't get fooled into thinking what you're getting is a good deal. Now, I mentioned EAT, right? The content quality, all that stuff. So remember, must demonstrate experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness inside your content. That is the best way to actually make your content hit, guys. And of course, don't forget, based on your tactics and your tools that I'm going over right now, make sure you got your NAP information, name, address, phone number, consistent across all your citations and all the places on the internet that you can put your info in, that people can find you, like your listings. Right? Kind of like how Yellow Book used to be. Right? Now we have a digital Yellow Book. That's where you want to make sure all that stuff is accurate. And be proactive again in your review generation. I just got done talking about all that stuff is super important. All right, for the algorithm growth. So just keep track of that stuff down. Some news and future trends, just future trends really, because I kind of went over news already. Privacy and tracking, guys. Mentioned that there's a lot of third-party fees, like they're phasing out third-party fees. And there's a rise now in first-party data strategies. SMBs, guys, you start collecting opt-in emails and maintaining a clean CRM. It's super important now more than ever. It is the internet is doing some interesting things when it comes to cookies. If you want to look it up, I highly recommend it. Also, search engine land's articles. We do a lot of looking at search engine land for some interesting stuff that comes up. By the way, there is a bunch of information on Google Lens and how optimizing for conversational queries and high quality images are going to help you in the future. Keep that in mind. Go to search engine land, look up Google Lens, see what's going on with that. There's some recent stuff in there that's really cool. There are, again, more than ever, search engine AI tools are helping people write more than anything else. They're making images and stuff like that short, but there are some really good tools out there. As long as you can get them to sound like you and personify them and personalize them to where you are making these bots sound good, aka like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. As long as you can have these things to sound like you, you're going to really be able to do some interesting things with copyright ads or aids. Chatbots for customer service are really good right now, by the way, to make sure you're not losing any context if you come to your website. All right. Again, hard to get them to click on your website now. Once they're there, you want them to put something, give you some kind of info. That way, and to make it easy, the chatbot is a really easy way to do that. Okay, on your website. And you need to make sure that you do that so that you don't sacrifice the authenticity. It has to sound like you. You need still while still making it easy for you to be able to use the features that AI brings. Yes, it's important. And guys, you need to stay agile. That's the last tip I'll give for future trends right now. You need to subscribe to reputable marketing news sources, not trends online on TikTok and all that other BS. Experiment with the new features early that do come out. Be making a strong, trustworthy brand. That's the best thing I can give you guys. So guys, that's pretty much it. All the updates I've given, please watch them. You guys are doing well. We of course, again, our TAP Solutions. I'm Joe Wallace. I help bring updates for algorithm updates, common SMB challenges, tactical tips, and emerging trends to the masses bi-monthly. Please go ahead and subscribe for our brand new digital presence update. This is the first episode of that. And visit TAP Solutions for any of the resources that we have. We have a knowledge base. We also have courses put together, and soon we're going to be open to everybody to join. Hey guys, if you have any questions, success stories, I'd love to hear success stories or topics that you want covered. I want to remind you guys that, with the right partner and tools, you can build credibility effectively online. All those things that you want to send to me, questions, success stories, and topics you want covered. Just that. Look at them. Either way, guys, have a wonderful rest of this week. Hope you guys are doing well, and catch us for the next one. Comes out just a few days, aka 2 weeks. Till then, guys.